Então, eu creio que levar essa luta para o solo, né? A Valentina é uma atleta bem dura, tem uns pontos fortes na trocação, mas eu creio que na luta de solo eu vou conseguir me sobressair.
So I think that taking this fight to the ground is the key. I think Valentina is very strong, and her key strong points were in striking. But I do think that if we take this down to ground, I can overcome her.
And Valentina, I see you smiling. What is your response to that?
Oh, it's the same response for all my other opponents. Someone was thinking they have better striking, another one thinking that they have better wrestling. But the octagon shows them that they are wrong, and this is like most exciting part of this like content, this fight, that see frustration on someone's face when they understand they are not better. But that's fine. I'm not having any issues to fight on the ground, stand up, like wrestle, whatever, because being UFC champion, MMA champion, it requires a lot of skills, a lot of abilities. You cannot be just one-sided fighter. And that's fine. That's good. I don't know if it's her tactic, like this is what she's really thinking to do, but whatever, I'm ready for anything.
Então, como eu disse, a Valentina é uma atleta dura, né? Na trocação, venceu já várias oponentes duras também, ela é uma atleta inteligente, mas eu creio que eu vou ter sucesso buscando a luta de solo, que é onde eu me sinto super bem. Eu venho de uma escola de Muay Thai também, me sinto super bem na trocação, mas eu vejo os pontos fracos dela no solo. Então eu creio que nessa área é onde eu vou ter sucesso ali na luta.
Well, as I said before, Valentina is just a tough fighter, just one of the best, and very experienced, very intelligent in her striking. But I come from the strength of being on the ground. I think, as I said before, taking this fight down to the ground would be the best thing for me because I do feel I have advantages. I also come from school Muay Thai. So I feel confident about my striking, but I do think that the best strategy is actually take this fight to the ground, as I said.
All right, y'all. So there you heard it. You heard a couple of the answers here from Taila Santos and a couple of answers from Valentina Shevchenko leading up to their fight in a few more weeks, June 11th. And, this is from a full interview that a few people asked me about if I had seen. And I actually hadn't gotten around to watching. I definitely had saved this interview to watch, but it's about 5 or 6 days old now. Just a lot going on in the world of WMMA. So I just kind of put this one on the back burner and kind of went with the time sensitive stuff. But yeah, I finally watched this interview last night, and I watched it a couple of times because I really wanted to, just take in what Valentina said and take in what Taila Santos said, and just what their overall game plan and outlook with this fight was. And a lot of people asked me about this interview. They wanted to know my thoughts. They wanted to know my thoughts on how Taila Santos feels about her approach to this fight. And I see why, because, Taila Santos really makes it, known in this interview that one of the main things she wants to do is take this fight down to the ground. And when I heard that the first time somebody told me about it, when I didn't watch the interview, my first reaction was, okay, maybe she just gave that answer one time. But no, she said it 2 times. She said it 2 times on 2 separate occasions from, two different media platforms that ask her a similar question, right? They both asked her, like, what's the key in this fight, what she's going to do. And she said taking the fight down to the ground is the key. And then once again, she says, she has a good background in Muay Thai, but she really feels like taking this fight down to the ground is where she's going to succeed, right? So with that, a lot of people are saying that should she be giving away this game plan like this? Is this really smart? Is this really how she feels? Or is she really just kind of throwing Valentina off? Because even Valentina felt that way, right? Like maybe she's just saying that, but she's still expecting her to put on a good performance. And Valentina still says she's prepared for that, which I'll talk about after my thoughts on Taila Santos. But after hearing that 2 times from Taila Santos, I have to say, my opinion, that really isn't a good idea to give away your game plan, if that really is her game plan, to go in there and get Valentina to the ground, because that way, Valentina is going to be expecting everything. Because first off, it's not good to give away your game plan. I'm hoping that there's more to Taila Santos going into this fight, not just going out trying to look for one one plan of attack. I hope that they're feeling like they're well-rounded like Valentina is, and they're looking to expose weaknesses wherever they come, because that's what it's all about. Not just focusing on the ground, but looking for any type of opening, even if it is with your stand-up. That's how wins come. And to me, that's how you become champion, is by, going in there, adjusting to whatever is going down in the actual fight. Not looking for just one thing and one game plan. Because if you're looking for one game plan, we all know that's not going to work. So for me, if she is kind of giving away her game plan, even if she is the strongest, most physical fighter that Valentina's faced, that's not good. That's not good, right? It's not good to give away that game plan, because, that's going to give Valentina the edge and, make her feel more confident and say, okay, this is all that they're looking at. They think I'm weak on the ground. Well, okay, we'll show them. We're going to show them how strong we are on the ground. We're going to show them how good our takedown defense is as well. And we're going to show them how good our striking is to keep them back at bay, to get our respect, right? That's how Valentina's really going to approach this. Because there's something else I want to talk about here, too, in another video, just Valentina's whole approach to her opponents. Like, she talked about just how she really feels like when she sees that frustration, it just makes her smile, and her opponents, like, she didn't say it in those same words, but like when she starts to see her opponents frustrated, that's when she knows she's pretty much broken them and she's won the fight, right? But that's another video. But for Taila Santos, to take that one approach, then and give it away, that's going to just have Valentina all the more prepared, and that's going to give her the upper hand to say, okay, we know how to nullify such a big, strong fighter. We faced big, strong fighters before. We faced fighters like Holly Holm, Amanda Nunes twice, all of these other bantamweights that tried to come at me with physical strength. We countered that. Juliana Pena, right? So if her main thing is just to look for takedowns, Valentina Shevchenko, she's going to look to keep it standing using her striking, or like she said, if it does go to the ground, she's going to show her that she's strong, because, one answer that Valentina gave back, because she kind of like smiled whenever, she said that, they were going to take her to the ground because, that's where they feel like Valentina's weakness is. She just smiled because she said, no, like, I'm prepared for everything, because to be champion, you have to be well-rounded. And that's another thing where I'm always talking about in my videos, is the fact that you can't just be one-dimensional. Valentina said it in this one that, to be where she is, you have to be multi-dimensional. You have to have many skill sets. And she says, look, my wrestling, my grappling is up there. And I think Valentina's proven that time and time again, right? Like, some people, they really nitpick on different positions like that Jessica I or Caitlin Kagan had her in, but she's never been in trouble with these fighters, And then when you look at what she was able to do last April to Jessica Andrade, I'm like, what more proof do people need to know that Valentina is just as good on the ground as she is on the feet, right? She may not be like that same type of specialist like a Mackenzie Dern, where she just, looks for those type of submissions. But if you think you can go to the ground with her and grapple with her, what is she going to do? She's going to take it to you. She's physically strong. She's prepared for all of that, So for Taila Santos to go in there and just think that that's the key to victory, I think that's a bad approach. To me, her key to victory, early key to victory for me, I'm going to tell you now, before I do my breakdown in a couple of weeks or in the next week or so, is the fact that Taila Santos has to be prepared to attack Valentina in any way, right? Valentina may be well-versed in her stand-up, wrestling and grappling, but you have to prove that you have the same type of tools, and they're just almost as sharp as Valentina's. And all the while, you have to be looking when you can use what it is that you need in that moment when she lets her guard down, right? When you find that opening, whether it is a takedown, like when she's going at a strike for a kick or something, then you go in for the takedown, right? You use your takedowns when she's using her striking to her advantage, or vice versa, right? You have to look for those openings and look for big shots to get respect from Valentina Shevchenko, right? When you see that opening, like say if she wants to try to take you down or she's in the clinch with you, you got to look for that opening to land your big uppercut or, your overhand right? So that's what it is. Like, you have to be prepared to use a little bit of everything. And I think that if they just go in with the mindset, like, we're going to take her down, we're going to take her down, we're going to we just grapple with her, be physical, that's not a good look. Because even then, she said, okay, I'm come from the Muay Thai background too, but I really feel like my key to victory is on the ground. How do you know that? you don't know that. Like, your Muay Thai might come into play here because, you know, Taila Santos packs the power. That's why I hope it's just something they're just saying to kind of throw Valentina off. But you can't really throw Valentina off. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would just keep it short, sweet, don't give away anything, because you really can't throw Valentina off because, again, she's prepared for everything. You know what I mean? Like, you've seen fighters in the past say they'll do this and that against like a Jessica Andrade, but then, hey, what happens? They go flat-footed, or they go in the pocket with her and get knocked out, right? So Valentina, though, she's just so multi-dimensional where you can't even really say I'm prepared for this. Like, I'm going to say she's weak on the ground, or she's weaker in her stand-up, or I can expose her here. You just have to make sure that you're prepared in everything. And that's why, you know, moving forward, you know, I'm hoping that Taila Santos, you know, they are looking to strike with her if they need to, you know, to look for openings to get her respect with the power, you know, or break her down with her leg kicks, and then slowly but surely get into the inside and make it a physical fight. You know, that's the only way I think they're really going to get Valentina down. Like, you're just not going to take Valentina down like straight off the rip. You know, it's going to have to be a process, kind of like how Juliana Pena did, and like Jennifer Maia and those fighters that were physical with her. You know, you have to kind of take her off balance, and, you know, you have to take her off of her footing, because, you know, when Valentina gets set, you know, she's going to start, when she gets set into her footwork, you know, she's really going to start using that quickness. You know, how she strikes, you know, whether it's a front kick to the chest to knock you back, or she's going to start setting up those counter right hooks off, or, you know, those straight left hands down the pipe. And, you know, if you clinch up with her, you know, she's got positioning on how to lock you on the body, lock up your body and take you down. Like, she took down Holly Holm, you know, she took down some big fighters, right? So for me, you know, some people were asking me, because a lot of people on my channel asked me, you know, how do I feel about that? Like, you know, she's giving away her game plan. Yeah, like, I agree with most of them. Yeah, like, I wouldn't really give Valentina that approach, that we are just going to be physical, we're going for the ground, because that'll kind of set her mind to say, okay, you know, all we have to do is keep her back with our striking, or hell, I'll do what I did to Andrade. You know what I mean? Like, she might switch up on the fly and say, okay, I'm not going to pick her apart. I'm going to do it just like I did Andrade. I'm going to show her that I can grapple and wrestle, because who knows what that wakes up in Valentina, right? Valentina's that competitive, and she's that cold-hearted when she gets in there, that sometimes, you know, she will let that ego take over and say, okay, yeah, look, I can do this too. This is how good I am, and this is how well-rounded I am. And you can't grapple with me as well. I can go strength for strength with you, right? So yeah, man. Yeah, I think that Taila Santos, she definitely has physical strength, you know, and I do think that she will have to get gritty. You know, she will have to get down and dirty, kind of like how Juliana Pena did. You know, take Valentina off of her feet. You know, don't let her feet get set. You know, she will have to land body shots and get into some tie clinches to really wear down Valentina to eventually get her there. But I'm hoping that they're not thinking just all ground here. You know, this is all we got to do is just take her to the ground. Like, to be champion, like Valentina said, you have to be well-rounded, right? You do have to be well-rounded, huh? So, yeah, some other things that I wanted to talk about too. Yeah, she just really seems confident in this fight, though, Valentina. You know, Taila Santos does as well. You know, you just can't really tell as much because, you know, she's not as, you know, fluid in English. You know, she's got a translator there speaking for her. But, you know, Valentina, she's coming with the answers like she usually does. And like I said, the one thing that stands out is, you know, her response to people always thinking that she's easy on the ground, right? She just kind of had that smirk, and she came back with the answer like, if that's what she thinks, it's whatever. You know, she's prepared to show her that she's multidimensional. And like I said, if you want to be a long reigning champion, yeah, you can sometimes have those special cases with a champion with, you know, freakish speed or freakish power. But the long reigning champions, they always have more than one tool in the toolbox. And, you know, I think Valentina has that, and she's prepared for this one. Anything can happen in this fight if Taila Santos is really taking it serious. But yeah, overall, like, my final thoughts, I don't think it's a good idea that they give away that game plan, because she did stress that 2 times. I do want to see her try to, you know, get in there and use some brawling tactics on Valentina to get her off balance. And I do want to see her try to establish something with her striking and not just try to wrestle Valentina right off the rip, because, you know, Valentina is going to be strong in the first few rounds, you know, and if you can't get her down, you're just going to wear yourself down. Valentina's been here time and time again. So I think it's best to, just prepare for whatever's to come in that moment. It might not call for a takedown. Like I said, it could call for a right hand up the middle. So, it shouldn't just be one game plan here, because that's going to just have Valentina more at the advantage. Right, guys? So, yeah, anything else I want to talk about? Like I said, I'll probably be back to talk about some other things that Valentina had discussed, and that was about in another video. I'll probably discuss some things about Valentina saying how people like to celebrate after training and before the win. They don't wait till they win first. That's why they lose, or they don't get what they want, because some fighters out there, like she said, they on social media doing this and that. And I'm glad she addressed that. I'm glad she addressed that, because I think that's what separates what she said. That's what does separate her from other fighters, right? So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.